Hello guys, today I'm interviewing O'Hara Davis, the boxer. How are you, mate? Are you okay?
I'm good. I've been sat in so much traffic on the way here, but finally got here, ready to do my workout, and yeah, ready to go.
Yeah. My first question is, what has been your hardest fight so far?
Oh, that's not a hard question to answer. The fact that I lost. That was my hardest fight. I don't believe I trained properly for the fight. Mentally, I wasn't in the right place. Physically, not in the right place. But you know, I made a mistake and I learned from that.
Yeah. I think you lost 2 fights.
I lost 2 fights, but the second fight I lost, I got robbed in. So I don't class that as a loss. The one fight where I should have got beat, that's the only one that I class as a loss.
So the Josh Taylor fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you thought you got robbed against Jack Catterall?
I know I got robbed. Everyone that was there knows I got robbed. Have you seen the fight?
Yeah, I watched it.
What do you think?
I thought you won.
Everyone thought I won the fight, and they gave it 118, 110, which means that they gave me 2 rounds of the fight. So it didn't make sense, but you know, it's all politics, and I've learned from that.
Yeah. And then you fought Jeff O'Free, wasn't it?
Jeff O'Free, yeah. I fought Jeff O'Free. I was the second fight in the Golden contract. So I knocked him out in what round was it? Round 6, I think it was.
6.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, I got him out of there. The guy was a lot tougher than I thought he'd be, but yeah, I got him out of there and I had a burger.
Yeah. You like burgers?
Oh, I love burgers. It's my favourite food. I've got to keep away from them when I'm in the camp. But as soon as the fight's done, it's the first thing I go to.
Yeah. Earlier this year, did you watch Josh Taylor v Catterall?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Catterall won?
No. I feel like the right man won. You know, a lot of people have the different opinions about the fight, but I feel like to beat a champion, to beat an undisputed champion in his hometown, you have to go there and completely dominate the fight. And I feel like people thought that Catterall won because he done a lot better than what everyone expected him to do. But you can't win a fight based on I fought a better fight than everyone thought I would do. That don't get you that win. If you're gonna fight against the undisputed champion in their hometown, you have to completely dominate the fight, and Catterall didn't do that. But props to him, he did fight a good fight, and he has improved from how he was many years ago.
So you thought Taylor did enough to win?
I thought Taylor done enough to win. So once the fight was done, and I'm seeing all the outrage, I was quite confused because I thought the right man won. It was a close fight, but I thought Taylor just about edged it.
I had Catterall up by quite a few things.
I think people only have him up based on how good they thought Taylor would have done. But Taylor didn't do as good as anyone thought he would do. Catterall done a lot better than everyone thought he would do. So, in my opinion, that's why everyone thought that Jack won. But I saw what the judges saw, and I feel like they got the right choice.
Interesting, because you're the first person I've spoken to who thought Taylor did enough.
Everyone that speaks about the fight seems to think that I'm in the wrong as well. But you know, it's all about opinions.
Yeah. Would you rematch Jack Catterall again?
I would rematch him, but there's nothing that I feel like I need to prove. I'm not chasing it because I know that I won the fight. So I don't need to fight him again to prove what I already know. So he's not on my radar, to be honest. I'm at number 3 in the WBA. I'm not far off a world title shot if I keep my mind and I stay focused. So, you know, Catterall's gone down in the rankings since his loss. So I'm not chasing someone that's below me in the rankings. It is what it is.
Yeah. When is your next fight?
We're looking at a date in May. We're looking towards the end of May. I haven't got a confirmed date yet, but we've got a few dates in the pipeline. But it's looking like it should be around the end of May.
Is it a title shot?
Yes, it will be a title shot.
Is it? What venue do you think it will be at?
Be somewhere in London. I can't say yet exactly where it will be, but it's looking to be in London.
Hopefully I can try and come to
Oh, 100%. I'll get you a few tickets. Come there. 100%.
It'll be a dream to watch a fight, mate.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'll get you in there. Definitely.
Hopefully. How many fights are you trying to have this year?
2 fights this year. If I get 2 fights this year, I'll be happy. Yeah, 2 fights will do me because I'm fighting in 12-round fights now, so I can't fight 5-6 times a year like I used to. Camps now, they're a lot harder, a lot longer. So I can't fight as many times in a year.
So 2.
2 fights this year between me.
You fought Tyron McKenna, wasn't it, as well?
Mm.
Was that a tough fight?
Not really. Not really.
You won that quite comfortably.
I won the fight quite comfortably. I found it quite awkward, but I wouldn't say it was a really tough fight. I just basically done the same thing from round 1 to round 12 to round 10. Followed him around the ring, it's on the back foot. It's basically being on a running track, it's like chasing someone. But, you know, I like Tyron McKenna, he's a good fighter, but I think he had the wrong game plan against me.
Yeah, I thought you won at least 8 of the rounds, maybe, if you went 2 to him, maybe.
I think so, that's why I didn't try to up the pace or nothing like that, because I know if I'm winning
rush into him.
yeah, I just thought if I'm winning the fight doing what I'm doing, easy work, why should I make it harder for myself and possibly put myself at risk?
Yeah, because he could always swing one over, like,
Exactly.
you've got to be careful.
These things, they happen in boxing, especially when you've got 8-ounce gloves on and no head guard. It's a dangerous game.
Yeah. When you got dropped against Taylor, what was going through your mind when you got dropped?
What goes through anyone's mind, I need to get up. I need to get up, and I did. And I got up.
Yeah. Do you always go into your fight confident?
Some of them. Fights where I know I haven't prepared properly, I'm not confident, but when I know I've trained right, I've prepared properly, I feel unbeatable, I feel unstoppable, I'm very confident because I know that there's no one that can match me on my best day.
Yeah. No one can stop you.
No one can stop me. Only I can stop me.
Yeah.
100%.
Are you going to knock your opponent out when it comes out?
I will. Because I'm focused now, training hard. Knockouts. I don't get paid for overtime. The earlier the better.
Yeah.
The earlier the better.
What's your favourite punch in a fight?
Whichever one puts him down, to be honest. Sometimes the right hand, sometimes the right uppercut, sometimes the left downstairs. Whichever one puts him down is my favourite shot. But I haven't got a shot that I like better than any other shot. Just whichever one puts him down.
Yeah. Are you watching Conor Benn this weekend?
Yeah, he's fighting this weekend. To be honest, I don't really watch any boxing, to be honest. I don't watch any boxing. But whenever Conor Benn fights, and he usually doesn't go the distance, I watch the last minute of it, the last knockout, the last 30 seconds, a few highlight clips, and that's all. But the only boxer that I really watched the whole fight is probably Anthony Yarde. He is probably the only one that I watched the whole fight, and I'm usually there. Apart from that, I don't really watch any boxing.
Did you watch Yard VR?
I was there.
What, the second? Both?
No, I was there for the second one. The first one was done behind closed doors,
Oh yeah.
so I wasn't there. But for the second one, I was there for the fight.
The first fight, I thought Yard won.
The first fight, so me and Anthony are good friends. I'm with him every day. The first fight, I think Anthony won, but he left room for him to be robbed. He left room for himself to be robbed. He could have won the fight a lot easier, but he thought he was up on points. He thought he was up by far. And if he really wanted to, he could have ended that fight in round 5, round 6, if he really wanted to. But he thought he was up, and he stayed too calm. In the second fight, he came from round 1 angry, and he was very angry in the second fight. And I knew the second fight was not going to go past round 4, round 5. Because the first fight wouldn't have gone past round 4 or round 5 if he didn't want it to.
Yeah.
So, Andy can do what he wants. The guy can become world champion. He's a beast, and I feel like still haven't seen the best Andy like yet. I feel like because I've known him for years, and as an amateur is when I really saw that beast. And we still haven't seen that beast in the pros. But I feel like once he's up against it, and once he's in a tough fight again, we're gonna see the beast, and that's when we're gonna see the best Andy Hunt.
Yeah, I was at one of his fights, the one before Lyndon Arthur in Birmingham.
Yeah, I wasn't there for the fight.
I was, and he destroyed his opponent in round 1.
Yeah. Listen, Andy's a good fighter. He's been doing this stuff for years as an amateur. He was taking all these guys out. He was having 4 or 5 fights. He had guys that was on 20 fights, 25 fights, 30 fights, and even more. And like I said, we haven't seen the best Andy Hunt yet in the pros.
Yeah. So, do you think you'll be world champion soon?
Yeah, I think so. It just depends on how soon. It just depends on how soon. As long as he's able to get a shot soon, as long as they can sort out all the politics with the belts and stuff, I believe he'll be world champion one day.
You will as well, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Sooner rather than later.
Do you find it hard to make weight?
Nah. I find weight super easy. I only find it hard if I'm not focused. If I'm not focused, I'm not dieting right. As long as I'm dieting right, I've got my head in the right place, weight's really easy for me to make.
Yeah. And my last question is, do you have any advice for people who are trying to get into boxing?
Don't. Don't. Boxing's a very hard game. A lot of people don't understand. Like, people like me didn't get into boxing because I wanted to. I didn't get into boxing because, you know what, I think boxing is such a great sport. Like, no, I'm from the streets. It's what I've been doing. I've been fighting before boxing, not with fists, with knives and guns. And I'm coming from such a half, and with that life I had, that was so hard. Boxing, it was just natural to me. I was an angry person. I wanted to fight. Someone's got a good life, a good family, got a good job. Why would you get into boxing? Where it's so hard to get opportunities. It's so hard to make any money in boxing. You've got politics in boxing. You're losing brain cells. That's your job, to lose brain cells. And you get knocked out and start making memes about you on YouTube and on Instagram, and they make you into a laughing stock. You open your DMs every day and you get racial abuse, whether you're white or black. You're getting racial abuse every day on your social media. Why would anyone want to put themselves through that and become a boxer? I'd rather do what you're doing, sit down, interview people, put it online, get views and get paid for it. Easier. I'd rather do anything. But, you know, you can only play the cards that you're dealt, and me coming from such a hard life, that's why I'm in boxing. If it weren't for this, I probably couldn't do anything else. I didn't do my GCSEs, didn't do my SATs, I ain't got no grades. What am I gonna get a job as? I ain't got no choice but to be doing this. Anyone that has a choice, think twice. Go play football. Football's a lot easier. Go play tennis, cricket, basketball, swimming. They get more money than us, and it's a much easier job. And they're not losing brain cells, and they get paid more. So my advice to anyone wanting to get in this, don't.
I want to say a massive thank you for your time, mate, and good luck in your next fight.
Thank you very much. You're good.